Okay, good morning, guys. Today we're gonna talk about grassland ecosystems. Yeah, I do not know if you guys are gonna be watching in the afternoon, in the morning, but basically I'm gonna talk about the grassland ecosystems. Sorry for the delays. I was just trying to see if my microphone was working. Well, okay, the grasslands are areas dominated by grasses. They occupy about 20% of land on the Earth's surface. Now, grasslands occur in both and tropical and temperate regions where rainfall is not enough to support the growth of trees. Now, grasslands are found in areas having well-defined hot and dry, warm and rainy seasons. Now, basically, these are like places where it's like a balance where it doesn't rain enough and it's really not that hot. So basically, you're stuck with a land where the grass grows, but not at high levels where trees will blossom or something like that. Now we got types of natural ecosystems. Now there are about two of them, not I found, but there are a bunch of them. If we go on Google, we might find different of them, or about maybe 5 or 7. I'm not sure, but I got two from what I researched about. Now, a natural ecosystem is it's a setup of animals and plants which functions as a unit and is capable of maintaining its identity. A natural ecosystem is totally dependent on solar energy. There are two main categories of ecosystems. They are a terrestrial ecosystem and aquatic ecosystem. Now, on a terrestrial ecosystem, sorry, I have a flu at the moment. Now, ecosystems are found on land, e.g., forest, grasslands, deserts, and tundras. While aquatic ecosystems are plants and animals communities that are found in water bodies. This can be further classified into two subgroups, which are freshwater ecosystems, such as rivers, lakes, and ponds, marine ecosystems, such as oceans and sanctuaries. So the aquatic one are usually found near water or is basically in water. Structure and components of grassland ecosystems. Now, the different structure components of a grassland ecosystem can be classified as an abiotic and biotic components. Now, on basis on an abiotic components, we have the producers in grasslands. Producers are mainly grasses, though a few herbs, scraps also contribute to the primary production of biomass. Now, consumers in a grassland. Consumers are of three main types. We got the primary consumers, secondary consumers, and tertiary consumers. Now, the primary consumers are herbivores, feeding directly on grasses. The herbivores such as grazing mammals, e.g., cows, sheep, deer, rabbits, and buffaloes, all eat from the ground. Now, insects are basically almost the same like termites. Now we have the secondary consumers. Now these are carnivores that feed on primary consumers. Herbivores, the animals like foxes, jackals, snakes, frogs, lizards, birds are the carnivores feeding on the herbivores. Now these are secondary consumers of the grassland ecosystem. Now the tertiary consumers. This includes EDC, which feed on secondary consumers. Now decomposers. This includes bacteria of death and decay, moths and fungi. Now this brings minerals back to the soil to be available to the producer. Now this is like if it was a life cycle, the decomposers would be the final element where everything goes back to the ground. It restarts, it regenerates, it restarts from that point. Now we have functions of grassland ecosystem. Now they perform certain functions. Now these are energy flow through food chain, nutrient cycling, biochemical cycles, ecological succession or ecosystem development, homeostasis or feedback or control to increase the fertility of soil and regulate the productivity of the ecosystem, to reduce the leaching of minerals due to low rainfall. Yeah, so let me just show you pictures of how the grassland pictures look like. Like we said, that these are places where it doesn't really rain a lot and it's really not that hot. So you're stuck in the middle producing a grassland area. Now, apparently my network is very bad at the moment. But, okay. Let's see if we could go back. Okay, so this is how it's supposed to look like. All these grassland areas. And this is how it's supposed to look like. These are places where you could go out with people and have a nice time and enjoy life. And the bad thing about grassland areas is that at a certain point you might find bushfires. For no apparent reason, you find bushfires mix of the heat, and the grassland is usually very flammable. It can easily catch fire. And usually animals or national parks usually like places where there's grasslands for the animals to be seen easily, and usually the environment that side is very nice for animals to survive in. Now, grassland areas are usually protected by the government and are usually given special protection for animals. Now, okay, when we talk about, like I said, the reserve parks, we have the likes of a giraffe, elephants. These are places where they will survive very well, mixed to the temperature and everything. And we have very unique places where the grassland is very good for taking pictures for those people that take photography. And like what we said, that usually you won't find many trees in this area. And in places where you find grasslands, a lot you find them in Africa, South America, and Asia. In Europe you won't find them a lot, and it will be very rare if you find them in Europe though. And that's all I have to take for you on how the grassland works and places where you can find them. So please stay tuned.